All righty, we are going live talking about the perpetrators, of course. That's our best subject for this great 28th day of August in 2025. Those of you who are still here with us, cheer yourself on, give yourselves a pat on the back for making it this far because you deserve it. You truly are warriors. So I wrote a note in my YouTube notebook where I write my next show. On a previous page, you are in for the adventure of your life. Don't you dare stop. Look back. What's next? So I want to start this off with a prayer. Lord, let those who seek after my soul be ashamed and confounded. Let those who desire my hurt be turned backwards and put to confusion. I hope we can share that prayer each and every time I am on here. I'm sorry for the late night. It has been a long day for myself as well, and I've had much engagement to take part in, as well as my bountiful amount of gang stalking. And that is what brings us here tonight after all the other things that I have to do in order to survive this. So, those of you who are listening, joining in, I know it's late and this is not the best time to do this. Those of you who take this message in, I do appreciate that. So, uh, I'm feeling very misunderstood as a TI, and those who go through the same thing might understand because, I get it. I have, I too have had bouts of moments where, I'll listen to somebody and say, oh, that's a perp. That's somebody who's pathologically sick. That's a narcissist. That's a psychopath. Putting my judgment out there. And I do have a pretty keen observation at this point. And those of you who listen to my 250 plus, audio videos on YouTube will probably see that I do have a great understanding. But I too can be wrong, and I also am misunderstood. So that is part of the topic for this evening. Um, I want to address gaslighting patterns and ways in which people who might not be abusers will use gaslighting patterns. It might be a natural self defense mechanism, even for the more brainiac types, the more, by the book types and not off the cuff types. Like you're either street smart or you're book smart types. Okay, I'm more of the street smart type, but then the book smart type kind of go with the gaslighting abuse patterns. Sometimes I find that to be true. Um, I did have somebody recently tell me that my life is misery. It really pretty much sums it up right now. And this is what's harmful to those of us who perceive threats. Uh, I don't know. Harmful to those of us who perceive threats. I don't know what my note means. Gosh, goodness. All right, we're gonna move on. Let's see. I just jotted down my notes real quick, and I had pushed the meeting back to 10:15, but I don't like to do that. I really wanted to do an earlier meeting, but I had another engagement tonight, so I had to took precedence. So I needed to do that. Let's see. The businessman is not locked in with good. No, I can't read my own writing. Whoops. Oh, I wrote that pretty fast. Uh, you know, I guess let's just say this with. Let's see. No. Oh, with good. Oh, I'm sorry. The businessman is not locked in with good nor evil. Um, it's purely profit. So, what I mean by this goes back to the gaslighting uh, my observation. Businessmen are looking to make money. They're not in any kind of headspace to be looking at good versus evil. They're just in it to make a dollar. So it's purely for profit and have a tendency, this is leading to uh, a a gaslight, if you will. People have a tendency to gaslight those who might need them for a specific reason to fight somebody more nefarious or more evil, or somebody who is evil and the business person not being anything of the sort. But somehow the person who is trying to help you somehow finds a way to gaslight you. Um, you know, I find this really disturbing because I've seen this done through pharmacy, through pharmaceuticals, through drugs, in multiple people. People in my past, in relationships, I've just moved forward from it because it's just too much. Um, but I found this to be true of myself as well. And I get it. Like, I don't judge it because I get how I perceive people too. It's very hard to tell who is genuine and who is a flake, a fluke, a fraud, a swindler, just somebody who is sick, pathologically sick. I get that. So I'm not judging. I'm just telling you exactly how this is observed from a TI. All right, so tonight we're moving forward to my half an hour walk. Now, I was like, shit, I don't even know if I've got 30 minutes of a walk in me in my neighborhood. I've been working out in my own form, in my own way, without having to make it public, and or at least as much non-public as I can, just keeping it on the down low. But I found that walking is beneficial in retaining information. I've been in a situation where I really need to be sharp, although I can tell you that the targeting today has, um, it's not the targeting. It's not the targeting today that's taking hold. It is the good people doing nothing. It is the good people gaslighting. It is the bad people getting away with it. And there's lots of other reasons that there. This makes it very difficult to find a reason to tell you this, to find a reason to move forward. I'm not here to work for you, the listener. I'm here to work for God. He's a bigger power. He's bigger over all these perps. So I'm not here to work for you. I'm not here to help you anymore. I'm not here to help you in a relationship. I'm not here to teach you about dangerous men. I'm not here to teach you about bad guys. I'm not here to teach you about the top percentage of 20% of people working for the NSA or the DOD. I'm not here to tell you any of that. That's not my job anymore. And I don't care. I don't honestly don't care. You can make your own bed that you sleep in. Uh, I'm here to educate you on targeting. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen. So in my half an hour walk, which was 30 minutes, I was probably a couple, maybe a minute or so under 30 minutes, but it was pretty close. I mean, if I could stand 30 minutes tonight, that was the truth. But I did have some other engagements, so I had to kind of be prompt. Um, the combo was a dashing orange shirt with a perp, with another perp, a couple perp in red and black. Now they dash across the street in front of me at the same location that they do before and before and before. So it's the same behavioral patterns, okay? And then they disappear into the abyss on the street and I never see them again. Now, I kind of reroute myself or just kind of I actually tell myself to just kind of go with the flow and do my same walking pattern. Sometimes I'll change it up a little bit, but I just, made sure that they weren't going to be in my um, view sight. Like they weren't, when I turned the corner, that they weren't going to be what I was primarily focused on during the walk. And I made sure of that. So they disappeared out of sight once they had come across the street, but this was very bizarre. This has happened multiple times. Then, you know, a little while later, as I entered into my street, same thing happened. People jumped out of a red car wearing orange shirt, and then some young Hispanic kid came up the street in his red and black. Well, I'm sorry, Hispanic kid, but I don't give a rat's fucking ass who you think you are, who you think you are to this world, who you think you are to this country, who you think you are to God. You and your orange posse and whoever else is with you, and the crowd before you and the crowd before that, and the truck down the street and the truck brighting and this and that and this and that. Take it back to your masters, take it back to your political leaders, take it back to whoever you want to take it back to. But you can tell them this: I don't give a flying rat's fuck what the hell or who the hell you think you are, because I don't live under your country, under my country. I don't live under any of that shit. I live under God. I live under my God. And He doesn't believe in your program. Now, where were we? Oh, wow. That goes for all of you NSA, CIA, DOD, DOJ, political leaders, politicians. The list goes on and on. You're all fucking corrupt and pedophiles and sexual abusers and traffickers and criminals and part of the organized crime network and blah, 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 blah. I don't give a flying rat's fuck. I don't. You don't belong in God's kingdom. And God is going to penalize me for my language. I get that. But He knows that there aren't too many people standing up for Him right now. And I'm one of those people. And I'm just here to tell you, I don't give a flying rat's ass. Do you understand? Because here's the thing. All of those so-called Christian friends that I had, where are they now? No. They're not lined up with a ticket into heaven, that's for sure. Because it's all going to come down to God's plan. And if you're not living in accordance to that, which most of us aren't, most of you aren't, and sadly, I mean, you're not doing anything that's Christian-like. You're not doing anything that's helping out thy fellow neighbor who's in need. I mean, where's that? No, you are acting like you're the snob. You're God's wonderful Christian snob who happens to lead me on the way home, driving really slow on purpose, coming from the Catholic Church. Right in front of me. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's you. Okay, yeah, you just define Christian for me. That's wrong. Uh, let's move on. So then, okay, after I saw the dashing orange and red and black reindeer, on the way home, I saw the same exact pattern happen. But on my way out on my walk, there was another person who was noticed, but she had these wild red shorts on, and I hadn't seen her before, and I walked the same route all the time. But on the way home, she actually hid herself behind the wall, behind the porch wall or whatever at the front door, and she was able to be seen from the top down, but then her waist, her red shorts were covered behind the wall. So, I mean, don't shame yourself. Be true to who you are, and if you are wearing red, and black, and this happened earlier today too, where a man had like ran ahead so that he could be covered up behind something because he had red and black. He was carrying some kind of luggage or something in my viewing area today. So I find this really disturbing. It's really funny how the CIA uses this color targeting, and how this is all just futile and just bogus crap. But how people are, it doesn't matter whether you're a TI or whether you are just just an innocent bystander, or if you're a perpetrator, how this is being used. Now, there was a woman walking in my path, and I passed her twice, and she had a stroller. I don't know if she really had a legit baby in it or not. I didn't check. But she did have what appeared to be a baby in there. I don't know. I can't verify for sure whether it was a real baby or not. But all I can tell you is the woman who was pushing the stroller had a cell phone. And the first time she had kind of smiled when I said hello, but she didn't really look up. I already kind of, picked her out to be a perp, but I didn't, I wasn't trying to be judgy. So I said hello. The second time she rounded around, she was like on her phone, like, I don't know if she was calling something up or whatever, or she had called out the orange and red black perps who I had seen prior to seeing her again. The second time, this is so bizarre, you guys. There isn't anything good coming out about me telling you, spending my life telling you about this. There isn't anything good coming out about me telling you about judgments on other people. This is not me. This is not my normal life. I wouldn't be judging other people. I wouldn't be doing this. This is all a CIA mind control program. I'm trying to teach you about this. Okay. So the second time around, the stroller girl comes through, and she's on her phone, and she's literally behaving as if she knew exactly my own thoughts and my own behaviors and what I was thinking about her, which is disgusting, distorted thing. So just think about this. If this is true, not only did I judge her, but then she receives feedback as to what my judgment of her is. And then, of course, the accepted criticism of her own self, and blah, 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 regardless of whether I thought, it was true or not, or if I was right or wrong. This is a disgusting program. I just want you to see what it is. Okay, what it is. Because there isn't anything against this girl other than the fact that she had pulled up her phone, and she was kind of, the second time around, she was seemingly a little bit behaviorally questionable. Okay, that's all. Um, but I want you to see what the program does. So then I, come into my street. This is, I mean, we're 20 minutes in and we're just talking about a half an hour, you guys. So I walk into my street. I, of course, see the dashing orange and red and black perps again, the same behavior that I saw in the streets just a few minutes prior in a different location. But then there is brighting going on at the furthest end of my street. The closest thing to mind was bomb. I mean, I was like, shit, is there like a bomb or something going to go off? I'm like, what the hell is going on? That these people were sitting at the furthest end of my street. It was like a truck and they were braiding. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Anyway, so something to keep in mind. All of you who, uh, are reminiscing and you want to go back and, live in the past. I mean, I just want to tell you, by doing this color coded targeting, you're not living in the past. You're just helping to keep the enemies going in power. It's just a sick pattern that they're using, and I hate to see it. I honestly I hate the color red. I really do. I hate red. I There's something about red that is ugly, that is uh, offensive. It is threatening. It's bold. It's not subtle and sweet and agreeable. It's kind of dangerous. I'm not a big red person, and so just wanted to kind of get that out there. All right, so this is a hell of a show that I just kind of wrote up on a whim, and hopefully I got all the key points in. And I just want to say this prayer one more time because I say this a lot every day because the perps need to go to hell. And I'm hoping that my God, He will send them there. Lord, let those who seek after my soul be ashamed and confounded. Let those who desire my hurt be turned backwards and put to confusion. Those of you who are fighting this battle alongside me, trust me, I know how difficult it is to even want to stay alive. I get it. This is the world we're living in. This is the truth. Don't let anybody tell you different. If you believe something otherwise, don't let anybody gaslight you. Don't let them do that. And don't let them take your life away. Stick with me. Wait for the next one.